Welcome everybody to episode 136 of the effing title, and I just surprised the shit out of DeNutte. I'm Big Husky.
DeNutte, what's up?
And yeah, we're.
I was mid sentence about something.
You took a long enough of a break where I was like, now.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. I been sleeping all day. Fucked up my knee, so. And I didn't tell you this. I spent $180 on beer yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I spent $100 on glitch.
All right, yours will last longer. It won't go bad.
I don't know about the bad part of it, but I mean, like, probably lasts longer. Yeah, they came out with a new flavor.
Which flavor? Oh, did they? Wait. They came out with I'm thinking G Fuel. G Fuel came out with that the V, Compound V.
Oh, did they? I thought I had seen that, but I wasn't.
I wasn't sure if it was meme or it was real.
That's a lot of the G Fuel stuff now. After the chili dog one, I was like, I don't know if this is real or not.
Yeah.
So the one that they did is it's one of their next collabs that they're doing. So of course Wildcat is like the co-owner of the company, so he has two flavors, and then they have Big Jiggly Panda, and he has Panda Punch. Then they have Nogla.
That's right. You liked the Panda Punch, didn't you?
The Panda Punch is really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Then they have Nogla with a Nogla Supreme, which is like an apple. And then they're doing one with basically I Do Work. He's on board. So they're doing a watermelon.
Oh, watermelon's hit or miss.
That's the thing. I'm very intrigued because all of the packaging was purple. So I'm like, it's gonna be grape. Like, let's go. It's gonna be grape. And then it came out as watermelon. I was like, oh.
Oh, and you're like,
oh, like, okay, like, I'm still buying it anyway, but it was a nice surprise.
So, I'm looking at G Fuel right now. The new ones they have a new one for the girl from Call of Duty who streams. Okay. I cannot remember her name. I follow her. I cannot remember her name.
She actually has an operator, doesn't she?
The one that has the operator, sorry, yeah. Alex, I think is her name. They have one for her. They have Mega Man. They have Tiger's Blood.
Oh, good.
Which is strawberry, watermelon, coconut.
I feel like at this point now, G Fuel has run out of ideas. So they're just throwing like multiple like.
They have a green lemonade.
See what the fuck is that?
Fruit.
No, hold on, time out. What the fuck is a green lemonade?
It's got 4 E's. When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. We all know that. When life hands you G Fuel's green lemonade, you make your opponents run for the hills, fire up your favorite game, and kick back the sweet and sour citrus paired with emerald hue that will make everyone else positively gloom with envy.
So it's lemonade.
It's it appears to be a green lemonade. Nothing else.
There we go.
You got Spyro. You got Mortal Kombat. One. That was it. I just was like, I had to find out if they had a Compound V.
Yeah, no, I saw the Compound V one online, but like you just said, I didn't know if it was a meme or not. Like, it's one of those sort of fucking things. All right, so this week, as we talked about last week, we were gonna watch House of Dragons, and then we never got to because they were showing it at fucking 9 o'clock at night. We finally got to watch House of Dragons.
Yeah.
What'd you think overall?
I really liked it. Sorry, give me a minute to expound. I really enjoyed it. I think that if it keeps this energy, it could be really good. But it's too early to tell. I mean, like, you can talk about look at Game of Thrones, like the original. Like, I loved Game of Thrones until season 8. I think that 90% of the world agree with that.
Yeah.
So like, you could start off great and then not come through. So I think that could even happen in this season. It's not the same. It's not the same writers.
Nope, completely.
I think George R.R. Martin has more hands in this one.
He does, but it's not as much hands because he actually talked about this. He has hands on this, but it's not the same amount. I think if I remember correct. No, maybe I've been thinking about Neil Gaiman now. He's more hands on. I do know that though, because there was a lot of things that like the people were like, yeah, we didn't like that. They did it like that, and they kind of left him out at different points. The one thing that I will say that I was very excited about is literally within 10 seconds of the show, there's a dragon.
And they're like the dragon's flying over, and no one cares. That's just And then, you know, it's like a lot of things you...
Well, we've seen 2 dragons so far, and they look drastically different as well.
Is it 2 or 3? We've seen her gold dragon. We've seen
and then we
Uncle Viserys.
Yeah,
God, I fucking...
Is it Daemon?
I read the books, and he's never said the names right.
I think it's Daemon, isn't it?
Viserys. No, that's the king. Daemon Targaryen. Matt Smith.
Yeah, Matt. We saw
the most British-looking motherfucker on the cast.
Can we talk about how fucking great of a job he did?
He did good. He, because, I mean...
We knew, I mean, let's be honest here. We knew that he was...
I know. Well, he was the doctor, so, I mean, that's... Yeah. But, like...
He was also Morbius's friend.
Morbius was so fresh in our heads. I actually had to explain... I was in a car with a buddy of mine yesterday for, like, 4 hours, and we talked about Morbius. And I was like, I went to the whole thing, and I was like, it's context, you know, that dumb dancing scene. It's all a context thing. The guy had been crippled his whole life, and then, of course, the first time he ever dances is going to look stupid. Like, I don't know. Context. I'm in love with Princess Rhaenyra. I'm awful with these names. The princess.
Yep.
Who, God, she did like so. So I'm looking at the IMDb right now. IMDb. There's a bunch of main characters that have not been are going to be major players that haven't even been introduced yet. Like Daemon's wife. She hasn't even been introduced yet.
We've only seen his like fucking prostitute girl there, right?
Yeah.
It's 10 episodes.
Well, I'm looking right now. So, you know her friend who the king of the Hand of the King tried to pimp out to the dad.
She's like ripping her nails off throughout the whole fucking show, which is very awkward.
So I'm looking, and she is credited as young Alicent Hightower. And then Alicent Hightower is played by Olivia Cooke, is probably one of the more famous of the people on the cast, because she's actually been in a bunch of movies. She was actually in Ready Player One.
Oh, I'm seeing that here now. Yeah, now that you say that, yeah.
Well, I don't know how that's going to play out, because so I don't know, because like with these things, they always leave it up. You don't know who's going to be in what. They like every lead. They're like, it's in 10 episodes. People die. They don't want to be like, oh, they're only in 3 episodes, so they're going to die. So they.
Yeah, they just.
I don't know. So I'm interested to see what happens with that, because if that's Olivia Cooke, I mean, there probably could be some play of power. Maybe she tries to marry. I know this is all like stuff you could look up, because this is all established. But you know, maybe she does go for the king. Princess Daemon. Daemon, his wife is played by kind of an up-and-comer. She was on the show on Amazon called, it's a Nick Frost show, like a ghost hunter show.
Oh, I've seen, I've seen...
Truth Seekers.
Yeah, that show was fucking awesome. I like that show.
Yeah, so the dead girl in that show, she's Daemon's wife.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so there's like a couple tie-ins.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what's going to happen yet.
Well, that's one of the things that I did like about this cast is just like looking over it. There's a lot of names that you see, and there's a lot of people that you know, but you would never expect them to be kind of like the leads of a show or like as much of a powerhouse as they are in a show. Like Patty Considine, right? Matt Smith is a big.
There's a lot of that guys in this.
Exactly,
like,
right?
That guy.
It's that guy, but then like you put them all together in the same thing, and it's like that scene with Patty and Matt Smith where they're talking in the throne room.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. Like that was a strong like Game of Thrones scene of just 2 dudes basically just being like, "Did you fucking say that?" You know.
And also like the sword, like those swords have like a lot of significance. Like that sword that he was holding is Valerian steel that and that was carried by one of his ancestors. And
the thing that I liked as well,
the sword that conquered Westeros, and then the brother had the sister sword.
The one that I liked, the fact, so Patty's King Viserys. The thing that I liked about his sword is that, like, you look at it, and it's not like, you know, you look in Game of Thrones, like, all the swords are, like, shiny and new, and they look fucking fancy, and they look spancy. This dude just has a big, thick, fucking broadsword that's just, like, fucking, he's holding it like this, and he's sitting in a chair, and he's holding it up here. And it's one of those things
Yeah.
where he's like, he's leaned down and he's still holding it up here. And it's like, how fucking big is that fucking thing? You know?
And I like that he cut himself on the Iron Throne. That really shows that it is a throne of swords. And I like that they kind of tried to bring it back to what it's described as, the Iron Throne.
Yeah, exactly. I think visually this, and I do like the fact that at the very beginning of the show that they're like, oh, this is 186 years before what you've seen.
Yeah, 172.
Was it 72? Something like that. 100 something, 150 plus. But
Yeah,
like,
oh, it was very,
doing that sets the tone immediately, in my opinion.
Even back when Game of Thrones came out, I heard a lot of different things that, like, in the timeline, like their timeline, if you compare it to ours, they're like a similar in time in history as us, but there's been such like a war-torn world that they just never developed.
Oh, okay.
Because if you look back, this is 172 years before. There's like the world that we left. This world is has much more wealth, and like people are healthy. People aren't scared of dying. And then you look at the world of Game of Thrones, where everyone's dying. Like everyone thinks the world's going to end. Like it's like a very different. Like it's almost like things have regressed.
Yeah, I can see that. I know, like I said, I did like I said, I like the fact that they did that because there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh no, you know, like this dude's the Mad King," and it's like, no, we're not seeing the Mad King in this. At least not.
No, we only. This is generations removed.
Yeah, this is a lot of years before that. But I remember people telling me, because people would, at one point were telling me like, "Oh no, the Mad King's in it. Matt Smith's playing the Mad King," and I'm like, I don't think that's the Mad King. Like, I don't think we're seeing. No, that's him. That's him. Yeah, that's him. You don't know what you're talking about. That's him. And I'm sitting like, So as soon as that came up, I was like,
I don't think he's the way they're portraying him. He's like pretty. He's pretty with it. He's like not like a cruel ruler. Like you see him carving a miniature city in his room.
That may have been one of the coolest scenes in my opinion.
So like you see that he's like kind of artistic. He's like really self-reflective, and I don't know. I think that he's not long for this world.
Yeah, that's the other thing is. I
think that I don't think he like necessarily wanted to be king.
I did like as well that like. As we're watching it, sorry to cut you off. I did like when we're watching it that again at different points, and it's like this is Bormund Baratheon, and I'm like, oh, I know that name, and then it's like this is Rickon Stark, and it's like, oh, I know that name. Like there's a couple times like that where it's like oh.
Well, even the king's dagger, I can never remember the name. That's Arya's dagger that she gets. That they tried to kill. God, they tried to kill.
Oh, okay.
So that dagger he had on him the whole time is the one that they tried to kill Stark boy. Can I never remember? I'm awful with names today. And then that's the one Arya had and carried and killed the Night King with.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of tie-ins.
There is. I mean, and I just quickly took a look here at the titles of the episodes, right? And I think this is a very interesting thing because, of course, we won't talk too much about this. But you have the Heirs of the Dragon. That was the first episode, right? Makes sense for the episode, right? So if we're going along with that theme, the Rogue Prince. We already saw the prequel for the kind of the teaser.
I don't watch trailers.
You didn't watch the teaser? The teaser came at it came right at the end of the episode, so I just watched it.
Don't watch them. I don't want to know. I just want to be all into it.
So we got the Rogue Prince. Second of his name, King of the Narrow Sea, We Light the Way, the Princess and the Queen, Driftmark, the Lord of the Tides, the Green Council, and the Black Queen is the final episode.
I was reading about the Lord of the Tides. He was the guy standing when they were having the jousting event.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy sitting next to the female cousin who was heir to the throne, but they decided not to not be the heir.
I assumed that was her husband.
I don't know if they are or not, but he is Lord of the Tides. He, he actually sailed all the seas by the time he was like 23. He's like a very interesting character.
Interesting.
So
Let's see if I can find.
I don't even see him on the IMDb.
I'm on the wiki right now, so.
I can't even find him on the IMDb.
Trusted there, Lord of this, Lord of Harrenhal.
Steve Toussaint. He was in Prince of Persia, Sands of Time.
I don't even see him on freaking. Oh, right
Yeah,
here, Steve Toussaint, right here. Lord Corollas Valerian, known as the Sea Snake. He is the head of House Valerian and the most infamous seafarer in Westeros sea history.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So he had like sailed all the seas by the time he was 23. He's like sailed of old Valeria. He sailed the world. So he's like,
wow. I'm looking at him without his like the the dreads and the beard.
Recognize him.
No fucking clue.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He does look familiar. Let's see what let's see what some of the big things. He was in the original Judge Dredd movie in 1995.
He's been around.
He was in The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Which was in 2002, by the way. Right. Oh, that's Walking the Dead. Waking the Dead. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. English thing. Never mind.
Walking the Dead. Yeah, I see that.
I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, no. I mean, I think that this. Like you said.
I think he was much. He was in a lot of British stuff.
I think that this.
Wasn't like British television. Yeah. Beard and the hair.
Right here. It says, as Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, a dragon rider, and the wife of Lord Valerian, known as the Queen Who Never Was. So yes, they were they were married. I thought they were, but they never said it. But they were always.
They were together, and like she would laugh, and he would just be like, "Yeah."
Yeah. So I just assumed that they were, but I do agree with you though. I loved the first episode. I think the cast did a great job. I think there wasn't a lot of moments where I was like, that's kind of stupid. You know? There wasn't a whole lot of that. I actually, like you were saying, the throne and how he cut himself on it, I thought that was a genius thing to do just to, because, the throne was like, it was the thing, right? There's the throne. But that was it. There was never anything about it. We knew that they changed the look of it to make it more, ooh. They kind of reverted it back, added more fucking swords around it.
Yeah.
The fact of him chiseling the city, I thought was really cool because I just really like that sort of shit. Especially from it's like.
Oh, do you think they banged? Going back, do you think?
I don't think they did. I don't think they
did either.
But now that you say that, though, that would make for an interesting thing to happen because then if she gets pregnant
like and a power dynamic.
Yeah, between the princess and then her friend, that would make an interesting.
Yeah, because why? So that I'm just confused. I'm just interested by, having young and old.
Yeah, see, that's the only thing as well that's kind of weird now that you said that out loud. Because the other thing as well is it says young and old, right? Or it doesn't on mine? It doesn't say young and old. It just says
so. It was established that Olivia Cook will be the main one because when it says young, then it's that's probably just
So on mine it just says Emily Carey as Lady Alicent Hightower, but then it says Olivia Cook portrays a older. That's all it says. So it doesn't even say the first part of it. But
it's funny because she's not that much older. She's probably 3 or 4 years older.
That was the second thing I was about to say. It doesn't look like they're.
Because obviously.
Interesting.
Okay, let's hear it.
So. If you just bring them up in Google, right, and look at the actual, in-show versions of them, because I don't know how much trailer-worthy you watched beforehand, right? But, you can see the character looks not that much different, first of all, right? The Emily Clark version and the Olivia Cook version don't look that much different. But the difference to me though is that there's a scene in some of the trailers, and I don't know if you want me to say it or not.
Well, I'm looking at this thing and it has the king and her standing next to each other like they're together.
Well, there's
no, that's her dad.
So there's a scene where older Olivia Cook has pulls out a fucking dagger and looks like she's about to go kill the princess. So,
Power dynamic.
power
Look at that.
dynamic. We're figuring this shit out one step at a time.
You were just like, if anyone watches this, you're like, you guys are stupid.
Yeah, right.
You're like, all right. Yeah,
They had
all
watched
right.
the second episode and been like, yeah, we fucking know this already now, guys. Like, come on.
Come on, get with it.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I agree with you, though. I liked the first episode. I thought the first episode was very good. If they keep up that momentum, though, that's perfect. The problem is, though, is that it is one of those things, though, as always with this, where it's like, how long is it going to go? Is it going to maintain this fucking going forward?
I just, I'm worried that everyone's like, dude, Game of Thrones is back. I'm like, listen, one episode. You know, like...
Exactly. We're overshooting it already. And that is a big thing. We are overshooting it already. The other one that we were going to talk about that we thought was going to be live was the Rings of Power. We wanted to hit on. We're going to quickly hit on this because it's really going to be a quick thing. They released the official, a new official trailer this week, and I'm not hyped about it.
I got halfway through and I went, yeah, I don't care. I'll watch it. But I like halfway through the trailer, I went, yeah, whatever.
I was
like, whatever.
Like I was saying to DeNutte in some messages during the week, I was like, it looks like Lord of the Rings, so like cool. Like that's all. That's all I got out of it. It was like, cool, this looks like Lord of the Rings. You know.
And I feel like the Rings of Power cast has even less it feels like even more unknown cast.
That's the thing I was gonna say, is like I don't know if there is anything, if there is any power behind this cast, right?
There's one guy, Peter Mullen. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Peter Mullen, that sounds familiar.
I thought Galadriel, she looked familiar, and then I looked up her stats, and I didn't recognize her from anything.
Okay, so the Queen and Regent we know. Cynthia Addie Robinson, or Addie Robinson, we know her. She was in, she's been in a bunch of different stuff, mainly TV stuff. But the two big ones was, she was Spartacus's wife, she was Crixus's wife in Spartacus, the TV show.
Yeah. And
she was also in, terribly cast, mind you here, she was Amanda Waller in the Arrow universe.
Okay. And then Benjamin Walker, he's the only one I recognized. He was Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Slayer.
Oh God!
All right. He's been in a bunch of like old timey stuff. Like he was Hard at Sea, Flags of the Fathers, the Ice Road actually, which was like a weird modern one. He was the bad guy in that. So it's like a lot of people that have been in stuff that haven't had a breakout yet.
Yeah, and like don't get us wrong here. Don't take us saying that this is going to be bad because of that. It's
it's interesting they're putting so much money behind people that haven't been established. So like a lot of like the fantasy movies, like look at Aragon, like that movie, that book was so. Did you ever see Aragon?
That was the dragon one, right?
Dragon Riders.
It came out on my birthday, and I watched it with my ex. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. So they that book was like the hottest book at the time, and then the movie ended up not being that great. But that was like another movie that didn't really have much of a cast behind it, except for the guy from Tron Legacy. But
well, like that's the thing. Is like I feel like especially with a lot of this stuff, right? Like you need to have like when we're talking about power, like the power behind it, right? You need to have at least a couple actors that are the big, strong power behind it. I mean, Matt Smith and Patty are two big names. Yeah,
and you don't even need to have them as like the main. If you can have main characters, the protagonist. You can have them be like up and comers, but I think you need to have some sort of even in the background, which they did in House of Dragon. Because that's what they did with Game of Thrones. Like Sean Bean was a huge actor at the time. He died because that's what he does.
that's what he does.
That's what he does.
Well, and like this is my other thing as well. Is that like it's the Rings of Power is an interesting one to me because of course you ask anyone. Do you know Tolkien works? Do you know kind of the books of Tolkien, right?
Yeah, I never read them.
Okay, so you know the base three, right? Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. You know the Hobbit. There was the Silmarillion, which I never read because it was really difficult for me to read. So this right here, this one, this is why I think this is going to be... I'm worried about it because of this right here. Set thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Unless you are a Lord of the Rings fan, you don't... it looks like Lord of the Rings. Like, it doesn't... Like, that shit doesn't matter, right? But it's one of those things where it's like... it begins during a time of relative peace and covers all the major events of Middle-earth's Second Age. The forging of the Rings of Power, the rise of the Dark Lord Sauron, the fall of the island kingdom of Numenor, and the last alliance between elves and men. Like, does any of that genuinely sound interesting?
Well, if you like Lord of the Rings, but again, like, here's my thing too: is that the Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy, was such like a perfect. It's probably the best trilogy of anything.
Yeah,
movies wise.
I would argue that. I would argue that's.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I'll admit that.
Yep.
Especially like the extended versions.
In my opinion, it's one of those things. It's kind of like the same thing with Batman vs Superman. You have to watch the extended version.
You have to watch the extended.
Like those ones are just. There's something about it. Like, but no, I mean I agree with you there. I mean it's one of those things. It's like The Hobbit didn't need to be 3 fucking movies.
No, I mean it should have just been 1, maybe 2.
I would have gone 2 personally.
But the only issue with that is The Hobbit is the shortest novel out of all of them. So like I think it's like even if you do audiobook, I think it's like a 5-hour listen to an audiobook.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm listening to Ready Player 2 right now.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you were listening to the Matthew McConaughey one that we were talking about a little while ago.
Oh no, that's on my wish list. That's probably the next thing I'll listen to. I listened to the sample and I was like, all right, I can jive with this because he just read the foreword, and I was like,
all right.
So I'm actually pretty jazzed to listen to that.
Okay.
But Ready Player 2 is a 15-hour listen. And then all right, then I've already listened to Dune in the past. Let me pull this up. Dune, I think is 24 hours.
Dude, yeah, Dune's something fucking crazy like that.
And they turned that into 2 movies. It's 22 hours. So I just think that like it's very hard to turn something with such low content into 3 movies. Also, did you watch those movies? Yeah, them filming in 60 frames per second is like such a headache.
I genuinely did not like the Hobbit movies. Yeah. There was moments that I liked.
Yeah, there's always gonna be moments.
But as a whole, no, it wasn't for me. Yes, that's kind of our thing. Like we were kind of jazzed about Rings of Power. I mean, to me, honestly,
it's gonna be good. I'll say it. I'll say it's gonna be good.
It's probably gonna be good. But like my thing is that like I've seen some of the Sauron stuff and it looks dumb. I'm just gonna say it. Visually it looks dumb.
Well, he's like pretty.
he's like a pretty boy, but then he's also like bold and like a goth kid, you know. And it's very odd looking. Like I don't know. But like the thing is, like for me, like I would genuinely just like to see the creation and the use of the Rings of Power. If that was the whole thing, I'm down. I think that would be just a cool premise by itself, right? Because that's all we've ever heard of is the one ring to rule them all. What about the other rings? I want to fucking know about them. You know.
Who plays Sauron?
Some fucking. Yet again, it's another. I think it's another kid that's a brand, like not a brand new, but another kid that's an up and comer. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Oh, fucking! How many different names are here? Jesus Christ!
I'm just straight googling it because I couldn't find them on the list.
Okay, so apparently the guy's name in the show isn't even going to be Sauron. Because I'm literally I typed in Sauron in find and it can't find it.
Is he not? Are we just like off in the timelines? Is he not in that? Are we doing like a Mad King thing?
He's in it. So, okay, right. So the following actors have been cast in undisclosed roles. I have that on my screen as well, though. So that could be one of those fucking people. But yeah, no, from what I know...
Oh no, Anson Boone is playing.
Anson Boone? Alright, what is
that's the name.
Hanson Bone.
Dude.
Bro,
This is like
I don't see that name on this on okay, it's not on Wikipedia. So unless I'm spelling the name wrong.
It's funny, he's not even I don't know, maybe it's not him because he's on his IMDb, he's not credited with it. But if you Google who's playing Sauron in the Rings of Power, it's Anson Boone.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's the fucking picture of it too. Is Eminem playing Sauron? There we go. That's the only fucking thing you need to read. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you need to know right there. Is Eminem playing Sauron? There, done. I mean,
Done.
yeah, whatever. So other news this week, we switch gears a little bit, right? Completely change it up on you. Gamescom, surprisingly, was this week. Another gaming thing.
The only thing I've really been seeing for it is the High on Life.
Yes, because they released a bunch.
Because they did a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they their videos of people playing demos.
So some of the ones I have just the website up there. 143 games had something announced, right? Atlas Fallen looks like a really cool game. I'm just literally on the Gamescom website, by the way.
Yep.
Atlas Fallen looks like a really cool game. It's about like two people that like have like this gauntlet that controls sand, and they make weapons out of sand, and they can like float around on the sand. And it looks like a Destiny meets like Assassin's Creed almost, to an extent.
Okay.
It looks really cool. That was one that I thought that looked really cool. There's a bunch on here right now that I'm going to say I didn't see trailers for or didn't see anything for, like Cultic or Distant Bloom. So I'm assuming that some of this stuff was just announced, like, oh, hey, this is a thing. But, like, oh, no, right here, it says announcement trailer for Distant Bloom. Cool. So there's a bunch of shit that I didn't even see.
So, did you check out Marauders? I'm seeing that they are showing that at Gamescom. I still don't see a release on that, but they're releasing that to Game Pass PC.
Marauders?
And, I played it a little bit because I was in the alpha.
Goat Simulator 3. Sorry, had to go.
Saw that. Yeah. I didn't play 2.
I didn't play 2. I
didn't know there was a 2, so...
they released a new trailer for Hogwarts Legacy, showing a little bit of the campaign.
Oh, there's a new Dark Pictures game?
Yes, it's already out. That one's already out.
Oh, it's already out?
If I remember correctly, they dropped the trailer for it, and then they just released it.
Really?
Marauders, gritty diesel punk world. Is this
so picture Sea of Thieves meets Tarkov in space.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a hardcore looter shooter where you fly ships into things, and then there's ship-to-ship combat.
Interesting.
And it's all weird it's like weird steampunk, more steampunk, and you have like World War II guns, and it's but you're in space. It's an interesting concept. I played a little bit. It's fun, but I played by myself. That's always kind of a nightmare. But
I've been meaning to get on and play. I can't say the name of the game. It's the one that I sent you, the Ubisoft
your alpha?
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to get on and play it and they sent me an email recently. They were like, "Survey, how would you think of it so far?" And I'm like,
"Is it the one that I can't? Let's say it's like Sea of Thieves."
No.
Okay, I was thinking that pirate game.
No, that one's already like.
You told me, but I already forgot what it was.
So I'm looking here. There's a game called Moolander, and it literally just shows a cow jumping on a spaceship.
Yeah.
No, that's not the one though that I was thinking of. Like I said, there's 143 games, titles, reveals, updates, like that sort of stuff that happened this weekend. There's a couple though that really stuck out to me, and those are the ones I'm looking for.
New Warhammer game.
Yeah, that one looks interesting, but at the same time, it's one of those ones where you're playing as one of 4 roles, and you just get to pick between them, and none of them are I can turn into a space wolf, so I don't care. Because that's the one that I wanted to play as. The Lords of the Fallen. That was another one that I saw that looks really kind of cool. Apparently it's like a sequel. Or like a prequel or something like that. But it looks cool.
Showed Grounded. Grounded gets a full release a month from today.
Yep.
Today's the 27th. So September 27th, they're getting a full release, which I'm actually excited for because a buddy of mine has been playing it here and there, and
It is
really
interesting
get.
'cause
We'll try to get back. I think we'll have to start over. So I think we're just kind of taking a break from it right now.
I'm just gonna go straight to my YouTube because I'm not seeing some of the ones that I did reactions to even on that site, even though they were from Gamescom. So Lords of the Fallen, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game.
Okay.
So you ready for this shit?
Yep.
Dead by Daylight,
Okay.
but with killer clowns from outer space. And so it looks like you can play as either the humans or you can play as the clowns. And it looks like you can play as multiple clowns. So instead of it being like just one killer sort of thing, oh no, you can get like 3 or 4 of your buddies together to go be like the clowns. That's what it looks like.
Oh, there was that movie. That's what I was like. Why does it sound familiar?
Yep.
Is that bit kind of have to do with that? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
it
no, it's 100% to do with that. Apparently, the
Okay.
original creators of the movie are making the game.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. At least let me rephrase that. This is what someone in my comments told me on the video. So of course I'm going to believe them because I don't know fucking anything with this. But that's one. There's a game called Blacktail that's coming
We're
out.
gonna get a Killer Tomatoes game now. Attack of the Killer.
Oh my god, I fucking hope so.
Sorry, I had to throw that one in there.
No, there's a game called Blacktail that's coming out. This is based off of the story and folklore of Baba Yaga. And it looks fucking creepy. And it looks kind of cool because at one point they're like, "Are you going to become evil, or are you going to be good? Are you going to be a protector of nature, or are you going to give nightmares to children?" Like that's the whole trailer. I'm like, this is kind of fucking like, all right.
You know what game you should play when it comes out, which they showed again, is Atomic Heart,
I've been seeing a lot about that.
which is like a Russian BioShock where you fight robots.
Ooh. You know which one I am looking forward to, and apparently a lot of people are. That they apparently they dropped it. I signed up for the beta already for it.
Yeah.
Is Dune Awakening.
Oh, it's an open world Dune game.
It's an MMO. Dune
Oh, it's
game.
an MMO.
It's an open world survival MMO.
What's it called? Dune
Awakening.
Awakening.
Yep, you can sign up for the beta online. I already did because I was like, this is fucking cool. I was like, you're telling me you can do an MMO in the Dune universe? Like, that's just absurd.
Dune.
And if you look at visually look at the graphics of it, mind you, it's just the trailer, right? The announcement trailer.
Yeah,
but still,
I mean,
right? Like it's, they released they finally. I'd been saying about it in some of my other reactions that I did. They released a villains trailer for Gotham Knights.
yeah.
Which is really cool because they've done every one of the main characters. So, like, in the last one that they did, which was Red Hood, I said in that video, I was like, I really hope they do a villains trailer because I would love to see, you know, who we're going up against. Because we know Freeze from Mr. Freeze from one of the very first videos they did. And that all the rest of the stuff has been, like, Court of Owls. And then it's just been goons since then. So
I signed up for Dune. I think that, I don't know, I just keep thinking it's going to be Rust, looking at it. Like
it might
Rust
be.
and Dune.
But yes, then we're also getting Clayface, Harley Quinn, and I am pretty sure I saw Professor Pig. But I could be wrong about that. Either way, I think that the Gotham Knights game is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. Those are the main games that I... Oh, and then the final one, Where Winds Meet. It looks like Ghosts of Tsushima meets Assassin's Creed with some mystical elements in it.
I just love that we're at the point where we just compare new games to other games.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. It's so the reason why I say Assassin's Creed is because there's so much of the the parkour aspect of it. It's like Assassin's Creed, and then the rest of it is it's like a Ghost of Tsushima. I keep probably fucking that up.
There's another Elder Scrolls Online DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm surprised. I'm like, good for them. They keep doing it. I guess people are playing it. I tried it. It's pretty good. I kept thinking that maybe might start playing it on PC, but I think that
those are always
commitment.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are always the games for me. That's it's like big commitment sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I just
System
I don't know.
Shock, which is an old IP. Blood Hunt stuff.
Yeah, the last time I jumped on Blood Hunt was with Panix, right? Me and Panix jumped on Blood Hunt. and it was for the team deathmatch sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we were playing up against dudes that have like been playing the game like religiously since day one. So like we're like loading into games.
Those are probably like the only people still playing.
Well, that's the thing. Like we're getting sniped at by people from literally across the map. Like one tap, dead. I'm sitting there like, oh, this is cool. We played 3 games of it, and I think during the 3rd game we were like, let's go play Apex.
For Starfield?
No.
Because it's listed on the GamesCom website.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think that game's going to be a huge bust.
Okay.
Okay, so I have one major gripe with it.
Yeah.
One major gripe with it. Out of everything that we've seen so far, we haven't seen an intelligent, playable alien species. And I think that is the stupidest fucking thing.
Yeah. Because even that Star Citizen, it doesn't have an intelligent, playable alien species, but there's alien technology alluding to that there are intelligent life. They just haven't gotten that far in the game yet.
Like I said, I just think it's and I'm not saying that they need to go out of the way to make it look ridiculous, but like for fuck's sake, give us something, you know.
So here's Starfield will be at Gamescom, but fans shouldn't get their hopes up. So I think they just had, I think it was there, but I don't think they showed anything new or playable. Because Starfield comes out this year, right?
I think so. Question mark?
I think it comes out in November, right?
Wait,
oh, it doesn't have a release date yet, but they, God, I don't think it's gonna. I just assume it's going to be Blade again. They showed it at the Xbox Game Showcase, saying because everything they showed there.
They showed it there, and I genuinely.
November 11th.
I genuinely could care less when I watched it there. I'm not gonna lie, like it was like whatever. Like
I was into it. I liked it. But we don't. That's the thing is we haven't really seen anything. It comes out in 2 months, 3 months, 2.5 months.
That's fucking wild.
So we
generally just haven't seen like they showed that one thing, like one trailer.
I really liked it.
To me, it looked like fucking what's the other game there that's in space that had the really bad
Destiny?
release? No, the one that had the really bad release, and now is actually good. No Man's Sky. There we go.
Which is now like people are like praising that game now.
Because now apparently like all the features that like they promised from like the beginning, like they've done and more. Apparently.
Yeah. I think there's still no real multiplayer, but you can come across other players.
Yeah,
but it's like like if you come across another player, it's like that's like the only time you ever do it. That's how rare it is.
I was gonna say I don't genuinely know. I do know though that Gotham Knights got a new release date though.
Next year?
Nope. I think it's the 21st of October.
Okay, that's pretty soon.
Overwatch 2 is October 4th. Very excited about that. There's something else I was gonna bring up. Oh, little bit of DC news. Aquaman's been pushed back a full year. Aquaman 2 is now coming out December of next year.
Oh, that's right, because they can only release 2 more movies this year.
Yep.
That's right.
And so my thing that I find funny about that is this. One, I do find that funny. I think it is funny that they've gotten to a point now this year where they're like, we can only release 2 fucking movies. But it's one of those things where I personally find it funny that a lot of people online are like, oh, look how bad of a job this guy's doing. No, look at the shit show that he was brought into that now he's trying to fix.
Well, if you come into something and you don't make any changes, then what was the point of coming in?
Exactly. You know, and he's come in and he's completely, like, apparently, so he got rid of Batgirl, right? Which almost universally, other than a small, minute group of people, is a fucking loss. Huge positive.
Here's the thing I saw. So, if you forfeit those properties, like, say, like what they're doing, they're pulling it, they're taking it as a loss, as a write-off.
Yep.
I think someone was like, you know, like other studios should have the opportunity to buy those. It shouldn't just be like canned.
So, yes and no, because I mean, if it's an original IP, then yes. But
Well, I mean,
but Batgirl is a trademarked own thing by Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers owns DC.
but like, look at Sandman. That's owned by Warner Brothers, and that's on Netflix.
Yeah, but that's because they let it out.
But like
when they take when they're taking it as a tax write-off, that means that it can never see the light of day. Like it doesn't exist anymore because they can't make any money off of it, like that sort of thing. So even if they do bring it off to someone else, there's still going to be money made from it. They physically cannot make money from it if they're going to make it as a tax write-off, which is one of the things where it's like apparently the directors went in to go fucking download the movie onto like their own fucking like hard drives.
It was already taken off. Right?
It wasn't taken off. They changed the passwords on everything, so they can't do it. And it's one of those things where it's like it's funny because like everyone that's been so of course because of the way DC is gone, and we could do a whole fucking podcast on this at some point.
Yeah.
But just the layman's term version. Because of the way DC has been, is split DC into two groups. There's the quote-unquote real DC fans, and then there's the Snyderverse fans. And that's what Warner Brothers has forcefully made, basically, right? So it's funny now, because now the Batgirl got canceled, all of the people that were shitting on the Snyderverse and the restore the Snyderverse and all of that stuff are now doing the, release the Batgirl. Oh, you guys need to help us because, you know, they're doing the same bullshit to us they did to you. And it's like, for the last 4 years, you've been saying that we're a joke and our shit doesn't exist and no one gives a fuck about us, and for us to move on. I hate to tell you this, but time for you guys to move the fuck on. Like, like, is it a terrible thing that's happened? Yeah, it is. But at the same time, so is everything that studio has done since, you know.
Sorry, so here's a movie right here. It's called On the Count of Three.
Okay.
It's about two friends that are going to commit suicide together.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's a black comedy.
Okay. Dark comedy, yeah, I can see. Okay.
Yeah. So that movie was released independent, has been out for a while, and Hulu just picked it up as a Hulu original, so it's on Hulu now.
Nice.
So I'll end up watching it because I like this. I'm like, some movies I'm like, I want to watch it, but I don't really want to pay for it. So that movie's out, and two main characters. One's Jared Carmichael. He's kind of been in a couple things coming up, but Tiffany Haddish, J.B. Smoove, and Henry Winkler are in it. So now that's a Hulu original. So what I'm saying is like that movie wasn't really picked up by anyone. This and that. Who picked it up? So it's a little different than the like getting a shelf thing. I think that like.
So that's the other thing is that like that movie still was released though, right?
That was released, but
this is being with this being a tax write-off, it physically cannot make any money
how
anywhere.
About that Seth Rogen pickle movie? I actually liked it.
The pickle TV show thing there?
No, the movie.
Oh, was it a movie? I thought it was a TV show.
It was a movie. Yeah, it was a movie.
Oh, sure as how much I know. But
I like that.
Yeah.
That was on HBO. They pulled that.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
Why can't that get picked up by someone else?
They can because it got pulled. It got
pulled. No, that's
no. Yeah, no. It got pulled. It didn't get written off as a tax refund.
No, it did. That's one of the. That's one of the ones getting. Yeah.
It got canceled. That was a thing that was already out. It was already out. It got canceled. Batgirl hasn't come out. There's still a shit ton of stuff they need to do for Batgirl.
Well, no.
Physically cannot see the light of day.
Pickle is on there. It got pulled. That's something that was already made and put out. Why can't someone else pick that up?
They can. They can pick up Pickle.
No, they can't, because they pulled that part of the tax write-off.
Okay, then it can be.
HBO pulled off a bunch, like,
well, that's the thing. Is like
properties.
If it gets, so that's the thing is that if it gets written off as a tax refund, the IRS can say, fine, destroy everything.
Yeah, which I'm like, why can't someone else pick it up? That's what I mean.
Because it's the IRS and it's the tax thing and it's fucking stupid. But my thing is this: that like I think
this is the world that this happens all the time. Look at all the stuff repurposed from.
However,
criminals.
though,
they don't destroy that.
However, though, difference is that movie's already made. Batgirl isn't. Batgirl's fully filmed, but there's still a ton of stuff apparently because the directors even came out and said, "Oh, we still have all this stuff left to do," even though they had already said that it's fully done and it's ready to go. They said that like weeks before it got like completely shit canned.
Yeah, so why can't someone else pay for that?
Because it's going to get fully it's getting like it's not made. That's the thing I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah, I
like
know.
it's the difference between not made and made right now.
We're saying two different things.
Well, no, agreed, but I mean that's the thing though, is that like this movie isn't made, so why can't it get picked up by someone else? Because it's not made, and it's being written off, which means that that property doesn't exist anymore. Pickle was made, therefore that property is fully made. It's getting written off. Could someone else pick it up? Technically, no, because of the tax stuff.
Yeah. So my thing is, like, wouldn't that be better? Like, wouldn't that earn them money?
No.
I'm saying hypothetical.
Because,
like, why can't we just do that?
Because it wouldn't make them money because the amount of money that a company would pay would have to be so little. Right? It's already... Well, that's the thing. They're already taking a huge negative from it anyway. Because it was already at... The original budget, I think, for Batgirl was like $5 million. Then it got pushed up to $9 million. And apparently, with the VFX and all that other stuff, it was going to get pushed even more. That's before marketing... putting it on HBO Max because it wasn't going to theaters.
All I'm hearing is that you don't want it to come out.
I mean, I don't. It's a fucking piece of shit movie. From day one, it's been a piece of shit movie. Like, when they first released the original script, like, this is what it's going to be, this is how it is, dog shit. It could be made by Snyder, still would say the same thing. It could have fucking Batfleck in it, still would say the same thing. It just genuinely did not seem like a good movie. There was two good parts of it. One of them was ruined because it was fucking... Commissioner Gordon, played by the fucking what the hell's his name? J. Jonah Jameson, that guy.
Oh, you don't like that?
No, I like that. What they did though was they de-aged him for no fucking reason. Yeah, so they de-aged him, even though it's still the same timeline. They just de-aged him. That makes no sense to me and is stupid. The second best part about it was Firefly being our boy there. The Mummy, Brandon Fraser. Yeah, that's the other good part about. That was the other good part about it. Everything else, script wise, was absolute dog shit. That was leaked. It was just a bad movie, right? Batgirl is at a party. I
still think someone should be able to pick it up.
So my thing is this: is that like I don't think so because of it. One, it being a main title of DC of Warner Brothers, owned by them. Pickle was something different. You know, if it like this other movie is something different. Like this. If
you declare bankruptcy, tax write-off, you lose a property, right?
Yeah.
They don't destroy the property and go, hey, this building doesn't exist anymore.
So that movie no longer will exist.
No, what I'm saying is like it's such like a weird thing that like intellectual properties they're like it doesn't like there's a whole Jamie Foxx movie that he wrote and directed that's never going to see the light of day. That it's done, and it stars Jamie Foxx and Robert Downey Jr. playing a Mexican guy.
Oh, is it okay? Yeah, I think I've heard about that one.
So they're not releasing it because they think it's too offensive.
Well, that's different.
And Jamie Foxx is like, it is different, but like I'm just saying, like it's.
So my whole
thing is like
so my thing is that so they're writing this off.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we can't use Batgirl again. We can use Batgirl.
No.
We can use we can use Gordon. We can use all the things in it. It's just this specific version of it. They looked at and they said, this is going to cost more money to finish making, produce, put out there, market, do all this than it's going to bring in.
That's cool. Warner Brothers doesn't have to do it. Someone else can.
No, they can't.
We're never just not going to agree on it.
No, but like that's
my opinion.
Well, that's the thing is like they can't give it away because it's trademarked by Warner Brothers. So giving it away would mean getting rid of the trademark. You can't get rid of the trademark when the trademark's owned by Warner Brothers, DC, and all the other stuff. It would be like if out of nowhere Marvel was like, "Oh, Sony, you guys can use Iron Man."
They did in Spider-Man.
No,
using Spider-Man,
which is produced by Marvel, not Sony.
Sony has their hand in it.
Sony has a hand in it and doesn't own it. That's what you're saying is they would own it at that point. They would own Iron Man.
Oh, that's not. Oh, I'm saying like
no, because as soon as you get the trademark for it, that's yours.
Yeah.
You own
I'm not
the
saying
trademark.
You buy the trademark. You just buy the film.
You can't buy the film because you have to buy the trademark for Batgirl, unless you change it so now it's no longer Batgirl and it's now like Koala Girl.
I'm saying like the rights. You have the rights for that film. You don't like it.
And that's the thing is that I know this just because of the jewelry stuff and everything. Rights and trademarks are two different things. You have to have the trademark. Because without the trademark, you can't do anything.
Here's another one. Louis C.K. You familiar with Louis C.K.? familiar with his jerk-off incident?
Yep.
So Louis C.K. had a really successful show on FX called Louis. Actually, I listened to a podcast this week about it. They pulled all Louis off of FX.
Yep.
It took years, but Louis now has streaming rights to that show. And I know it was already made, but he has sole streaming rights to that show. You could stream it on his website.
Yeah.
And he has streaming rights for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he probably, well, that's because with the streaming rights, he probably also has the trademark for it now too.
Nope. He's the only distributor of it right now.
Then anything that he makes no money off of it.
No, he makes money off of it.
But not that much, because the trademark goes
Still
to.
Does. He has control over it for right now.
Well, that's fine. So let's say that someone did buy Batgirl, for instance.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What money is Warner Brothers going to see that would be worth all the time and effort of getting rid of it?
$5 million.
Not even.
Yeah.
No, because no person's going to pay $5 million, because that's going to be $5 million alone. $5 million alone is going to be partial.
$5 million is pennies at this point. Look at how much money Netflix spends to make a movie.
However, though, now they're going to have to go through the whole rigmarole of bringing it on, finishing the movie, because the movie isn't finished, remember? They got to finish the movie. Then they have to actually promote the movie, which that's going to cost a lot of money.
Just put it out there. Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's not worth it.
It may not be worth it, but I wish there was a possibility of being able to do it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, simply just because it's one of those things. If it was going to be a good movie,
yeah, then
do it. But it's one of those things where it's like
you're hung up on that it's going to be bad. You're like, that's just bad. I don't want it.
Well, I mean, so my thing is this as well, right? So it's bad, right? However, though, do I think that we should all be able to see it? Maybe, but it's not like it's going to be a grandiose picture thing that's going to make millions and millions of dollars. It's not. It'd be lucky if it makes $1 million or $2 million, to be genuinely honest, because it's going straight to HBO Max. Nobody really gave a fuck about it, to be 100% honest. Like, the main people that gave a fuck about it were like the pure like woo, Batgirl fans, and even most of them have given up at this point.
Interesting.
It's one of those things.
Well, I mean,
so the rest of this year, Warner Brothers has.
Wouldn't that argument be made about all like the Snyder stuff?
If it wasn't,
Snyder's cuts.
Agreed. However, the Snyderverse is always trending on Twitter. It's always trending online for weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks. It's different because it's not the same like couple hundred people. It's thousands of people to the point where it's like we are Russian bots apparently. You know,
infiltrating.
Exactly, we're
infiltrating the Twitterverse.
I love the fact that they made the fan awards at the Oscars recently, this last year.
Yeah,
they did the fan awards, and Snyder won both of them. And immediately after Snyder won both of them, they were like, "Oh, it's the bots. They're cheating. They're this and that." It's like, you guys literally could have voted, and you didn't. You know.
Well, did you see? Was it the Gamecocks? They're trying to rename the chicken. Did you see that?
Have you heard the full story of that? Because it's fucking wild.
The Cock Commanders winning. That's all I know.
So for everyone out there, South Carolina college, their mascot is the Gamecocks. So apparently, the owner of the mascot is changing hands.
Oh, so it's a trademark name.
So the old owners called it the Gamecocks because they would actually cut every time they got the new cock, right? They would cut the frill on the top of its head to make it like a gamecock, like an actual like fighting cock. The new owners don't want to do that anymore, so they did what every person these days do, which is they put it to a vote. So of course,
I think Cock Commander is a great name.
The Cock Commanders is the one that's winning by 71%, and
it's like
it's not like 5 either. By the way, there's like 10 names, DeNutte. There's like 10 names for this.
The second place name is not like.
Oh, it's
they're
not
all like cock. They're like cock based. They're all of them are. So it's not like it's like a. Let me see.
there was something that I read that was like just because the owners have the name doesn't mean the college will change it, like that sort of thing as well. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that the fucking people in the college aren't looking at it and going, yes, let's change this to the Cock Commanders, you know. Imagine being a kid, fucking, you know, it's like, you know, picking out the hats, right? It's like, well, next year I'm gonna be a Cock Commander.
Oh, the second place name is Cluck Norris.
There we go.
That's what it was.
What's the other ones? Because there's a couple other ones that are really good.
Cluck Norris, Coop, General, Cockadoodle Dude, Marco Polo, Brewster, Captain Cluck, Kirkin, Chicken, or Mr. Chicken Stratch.
See, like it's not like there's like 2 or 3, right? There's like 10.
And out of all of those, Cock Commander is the best name.
That's the worst part. Is like it really is.
Objectively, it is the best name.
The other one that I liked was I did like Cockadoodle Dude. I did like that one. But like we're talking about college mascots here, right? It's just it's
I don't know.
It's one of those things that I never thought that we would get to a point where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna change it from the Gamecocks to Cock Commander as a topic and title that we'd ever see in my entire life, you know.
Sorry. It's not the name was Sir Big Spur.
Yes.
So I think they'll still be the Gamecocks, right? But the name of the chicken will be Cock Commander.
Yes, I think that's what they're so I think that's is the name of the chicken, like you said, is or rooster or whatever, is Sir Big Sir or Spur.
Spur, yeah, Spur.
And I think that's the thing is that like they're doing that, right? So I think that it's just kind of like the you know, like people are like, oh, let's go to the Cock Commander, thinking that it's going to be the South Carolina Cock Commanders, instead of it being like, oh no, this is the Cock Commander, we're the Gamecocks. You know, I don't know. It's. I
mean, I think it's a fitting name. Like
I said, I would just love to see the ESPN, ESPN where the guy gets.
Are they not cocks?
Well, I would love to see the ESPN where like the kids are picking the hats, like where they're gonna go, and they put it on and they say, I'm going to be a Cock Commander, like. I mean, just imagine that fucking any girl that goes to school, you know. I'm a Cock Commander.
The Cock Commander has entered the room. Just enter it.
We get it, Brittany. God.
Yeah. God. Oh, would you ever see Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yes.
I am the Clit Commander.
Mm-hmm. It's such a. Oh my god, I fucking love that. I think Clerks 3 is coming out soon. At some point here.
I think so. I actually was going to buy tickets, and I think that it was for this Friday.
Oh.
They were doing a show, kind of like an hour away from me, but it was like a Q&A with Kevin Smith and stuff.
September 13th. So yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? That's.
So 2 weeks.
Oh, I can still do that.
2 weeks, and then Thursday, and then like a couple days.
Let me see.
At least so. Let me rephrase that. That's the release date. The one that you're talking about might be.
I just pulled it up. So it's why we want to go see it in Portland, Maine, at the State Theater, and it's the Clerks 3, the Convenience Tour Q&A with Kevin Smith, and it's September 6th, so it's Tuesday.
He had Kevin Smith had one of his shows pulled from Warner Brothers.
What was that?
It was going to be DC, The Strange Adventures or Strangely Adventures, something like that.
Oh, that's right. And he was just like...
He was all butthurt about it, and then like people online...
I know he got like a copy. I know he managed to get a copy of it, though.
No, none of it got
made. He didn't?
No, none of it got made. It was all in like the talk stage.
Oh,
a lot of the stuff has just been in the talk stage, and then like it's getting cut and stuff, and then people are losing their minds about it.
Come see the new movie with Kevin Smith and let him use his mouth on you at the post-show Q&A.
Whoa. Hey,
that's the headline on the thing.
I'm going to see if I can find it here.
You are supposed to be here today. So that was the rest of it. You are supposed to.
Yeah, no, there was something about it. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff. They're changing stuff up. They're doing stuff. They're moving stuff around. There's a new fucking person coming in. Of course they're gonna move stuff around. Yeah, no, Clerks 3 does look good though. I will say that.
I think it's just it's like the same thing. Did you see the new Jay and Silent Bob movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was what it should Jay and Silent Bob. That's all you
It's
want.
well, that's the thing, is right. Is it's like it's not one of those things where it's like where like, oh, what's this movie gonna be about, or oh, how is this movie gonna be? We fucking know what it's gonna be. It's Clerks. It's Kevin Smith. It's it's Jay and Silent Bob. Like we know the formula here.
I just hate that like Kevin Smith has gotten a lot of flack for all his movies in the recent years.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Even like the original ones, like let me pull this up. It's Red State. Red State got like it was like people hated it.
It's wild.
That movie was pretty good. Red State, Cop Out, Tusk.
Tusk, I did hear a lot of stuff about.
Yoga Hosers, which I actually didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't see the Hosers one. I saw part of Tusk, and then it was just too weird for me. So
I watched the whole thing with like a girlfriend, and she's like, "What the fuck did you make me watch?"
Yeah,
I was like, fun, right?
It was fun, right? I could.
That movie. It's like sad. It's like really sad.
I genuinely could not do it.
Zack and Mary Make a Porno, which I think is a great movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's just. That's the thing. Is like he is like it's one of those things. Like you got to know you're going in for a comedy. It's gonna be a little bit fucked up at points. You know, there's gonna be some jokes that are gonna be.
They're making a Mallrats sequel.
Oh God.
Twilight of the Mallrats. Woo!
I love it. I'm all for fucking sequels of just anything, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mallrats is a great movie. If you haven't seen Mallrats, go see Mallrats.
Go see Mallrats. All right, that's all I got though for news on stuff and things and Bob's and Hoosier Mamas and
Hoosiers. Yeah, I think that's all I got too. I mean, we could always.
Oh, that was the other, Shazam got pushed back too. That was the other one. I knew there was two. Shazam got pushed back, but so it's like we said, they can only release 2 more movies this year, and the 2 movies that they're releasing this year are Black Adam, and Dress Up Darling. I think.
It's the Olivia Munn, Florence Pugh, which is getting a ton of flack right now. Actually, even just yesterday.
Oh,
the Shia LaBeouf thing.
Yeah. Did you see the released video that Olivia Wilde sent to him? Did you see that?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It's her basically saying to him, like, look, like I want to get you back. I want to bring you back. Like, I want you and Florence to work it out, and like, let's finish this movie. Let's do this the right way. Like that sort of thing. Like that sort of, and it's like you watch it, and it's one of those things. It's like, ooh, it's a bad look. After she said, "Oh yeah, I fired him because we care about, her safety more than anything, making sure that she's comfortable." And then like there's a video of her like begging him to come back. It's like, ooh,
You're like, oh no, so you lied.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, that's. And then she came out and said that she fired him, and he said no, that he just quit. He was like, no, fuck it, I'm done.
So there's a new podcast that came out yesterday. John Bernthal's podcast.
Okay.
He has a podcast now because everyone has podcasts. And and it's a Patreon podcast. So I don't know, but they released like a 10-minute clip from it. So I watched a few minutes of it this morning or I think last night.
Yeah.
And it was it's just him talking about his career and that like he had always kind of fucked up his career, but there was always someone to like support him. And like this time, what she did to him even fucked up his career more.
It was him and Shia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is Shia talking. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw something on that on Twitter today. I mean, not Twitter. Jesus, TikTok. This morning, I saw something about that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't want to pay for Patreon, but I really want to listen to that episode.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So.
But I the one that I was watching, there was something about like the one that of course this sad talk. It was Shia LaBeouf being like, it's like, oh no, every time I meet a girl, she's the one. Like that's the negative self confidence in myself. But like if I'm going to be with you, you're the one. Like that's it. Like it's like him going through that, and like it's kind of those things. Was like I listened to it once or twice, and then like I had to put my phone down and just kind of like, fuck.
Yeah, and then I mean it's kind of crazy because like him trying to get Shia back, and then there's all the tension between Florence and Olivia, and Olivia ended up like directing most of the movie, and she's not getting the credit. She hasn't put any any press for it, nothing, and
It's just, it's so wild. The whole thing, like, and that's the thing, like, I didn't know anything about this until I started seeing like the videos and the different things coming up about it, and then it was.
It's been going on for a while, but the Shia thing is brand new. So I don't know. It's
I mean, it's gonna be a rough end of the year for fucking Warner Brothers at this point. You know.
It sucks because Olivia Wilde's done a good. Her last movie she directed was like really. People loved it.
I was gonna say, what was the last one that she directed?
It was the fucking Booksmart. Booksmart.
Okay, yeah.
Don't worry, darling, and then she's doing.
Don't worry, darling. There we go. I said dress up, darling. I was thinking of the fucking anime.
She's doing a movie called Perfect. American gymnast Carrie tries to overcome an Olympic injury, and then she's doing an untitled Sony Marvel project.
That is, if I remember correctly, I think that's the Madam Web movie.
Plot kept under wraps, described as a female-centric Marvel film.
Yep, I think it's the Madam Web movie that they're shooting right now. Actually, I think
Booksmart was really good. Imagine Don't Worry, Darling is going to be good. I just.
It's just wild how it's just kind of spiraling out of control.
A lot of people are saying it's only because she's a woman that people are caring about it. I don't know. It just.
Yeah. That shit always sucks whenever that's thrown out there because it's like, why the fuck? Like, come on, man. Like,
I don't know. And then it's all in the wake of like she was also pissed off at Jason Sudeikis over the divorce and
how she got served the letter in the middle of her fucking.
Even though he had nothing to do with that, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I say my thing of the quip of the week is give Don't Worry, Darling a chance. I guess.
There you go.
Yeah. Give Shia a chance. Always will be.
Yeah, I'm gonna
a
go
ride
there.
or die Shia, I guess, which is might
I
be.
mean, we grew up with him in fucking Even Stevens and like all the other fucking shows. Dig.
Holes.
There we go. I said Dig. Holes.
yeah.
You know, like we just, he's one of our guys.
Stanley Yelnats. He's our Stanley Yelnats. Even just in the last couple of years, he did Honey Boy and Peanut Butter Falcon. Peanut Butter Falcon was probably the top 5 movies of last year, so I think, but it is what it is.
I mean, didn't Fury fuck him up?
He was fucked up. Because I think that was like the peak of his mental health crisis. Like, he cut his face, he pulled out his tooth. So he like had a cut on his face in the movie.
He did a good job in the movie.
I think everyone in that movie did an amazing job.
Yeah. But like, I just...
Brad Pitt picked him like personally for that movie.
Really? I didn't know that part.
Yep.
I mean, it also doesn't surprise me, though, that fucking, crazy-ass Shia LaBeouf fucking just... Oh, I need to have a cut on my face?
Yeah.
Is that good?
He kept it open, like, the whole movie. And they're like, dude... And he didn't bathe. That was another thing, is that he didn't bathe, like, the whole time, so everyone's like, you fucking stink, dude. Yeah, so... I had one of those days this week where, I thought I had an extra uniform, and I didn't, so I had to wear a uniform 2 days in a row, and I was like, I fucking stink.
Oof.
I had one of those days this week. That was pretty cool.
That's fine. We will have those days. We'll have those days. Yeah. Right. So let us know what you guys think of House of the Dragon. We'll be talking about it weekly as it goes on. We'll probably hit on Ring of Power more when that comes out. Probably will be just as enthusiastic as we are right now about it, and then all sorts of other shit.
I think we'll like it. I just think that we're just like meh. I think we'll like it.
You know what? I am actually the one that I am intrigued about. Let me fucking bring this up real quick. One of the last things I'll say. Because
keep trying to edit it. We're like, what?
Yeah, right.
Thing.
Well, you know what? So let's see. When does this fucking why am I trying to print something? Stop that. This movie comes out October 21st. Oh, so that's a fucking ways away. Jesus Christ.
I'm eighth. I'm eighth in my draft, dude. I'm last. I have last pick.
You have last pick?
Snake draft.
Snake draft. Yes, you get 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
So the Black Adam movie. Speaking of Black Adam, that comes out October 21st, which is a Friday. So, I'll message. I'll see if I can get my boy who I go and watch my DC movies with in the state that DeNutte's in, that I'm not in, at the theater, and maybe we'll meet up.
Go to Tilden?
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Maybe we're going to do something like that. And then we can talk about it fucking the next day.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for that.
I would
All for it.
drop a fucking review on it right there. Boom. There.
We'll be sitting there in the theater like, oh, play.
Yeah.
Play. No, I'm up for that. All right, I'm all for that.
Pierce Brosnan just came on the screen.
Oh, he's in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pierce Brosnan.
I had no idea.
So
yeah,
Pierce. Yeah. So it's funny. Yeah. So this is the thing is that like I said, we keep trying to fucking end it. But so Pierce Brosnan is in the movie, and a lot of the stuff that he's shown as is not as Dr. Fate, who he's supposed to be playing. So I'm gonna send you right now on Instagram the poster that they've released, the Dr. Fate suit, which looks fucking incredible. I'm a huge I love the Dr. Fate. I'm a Dr. Fate fan. So I love the fucking look of the suit. The suit looks fucking incredible. But a lot of it hasn't been with the suit. It's been outside of the suit. And the other thing I've been seeing a lot of people saying...
didn't you want to get one of those helmets?
Mm-hmm.
I remember you sent me that helmet now.
So one of the things that they've been saying, though, is that it's funny because the movie comes out in 2 months, and there's other movies that are getting more, like, press and commercial and like that sort of stuff.
People are hating on The Rock right now. I keep adding to it, but people are hating. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where it's one of those things as well where apparently he's kind of brought it on himself.
Yeah, he's like it should be a main IP.
Well, that, but then
I
also
want to be in Shazam.
Well, so that one has been taken out of context a little bit, which most of this stuff has because it's DC based.
Yeah.
What he said was that he didn't think that that Black Adam and Shazam should come out at the same time. They should be different things and come out at different times, which I kind of understand.
Yeah.
And that's what he's saying. Like he fought to do was so
it's hard for someone to go to the movies, let alone go to the movies twice.
Exactly. So it's one of those things. Well, especially like, are there other Shazam villains? Yeah, there are. But I mean, Black Adam is the big one, right? But then the other thing as well that he's getting a lot of flack for right now is he is multiple times said he's listening to the fans. He's going to give the fans what they want.
Which he's been pretty known for doing.
Which he has. However, the fans have said they want Henry back. We want Henry as Superman. 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 Henry as Superman, please. Henry as Superman. Because there's a movie where Shazam and Superman fight Black Adam. It's really the only time. There's only the real time that ever Superman and Black Adam really are fighting. They're not really villains or that. So, apparently,
I'm dying over here. Sorry.
There's a leak thing where Superman shows up in the movie, faceless or headless.
Again.
Yeah. And he's wearing the blue suit, not the black suit.
Interesting.
So it's one of those things where it's like that came out and everyone's
it's all not canon again.
Well, that's the thing is, like, it came out and everyone's like, you're not fucking listening to us. You say, like, you blatantly have said multiple times you're listening and now you're not. Like it, and it's one of those things where like that's starting to rub people the wrong way, and the fact that test ratings apparently weren't great for it, which
I heard that they were like the same as Batgirl. So,
but all
right, that's it. No more, and then
let us know what
I get my food.
Yeah, right.
All right, sorry.
What are you getting for food? Sorry, let us know whatever the fuck you want us to talk about. Eventually here, kind of a little last bit news for anyone that does make it through the whole thing. Eventually here, the podcast will change moving forward a little bit. We will still be doing our regular show. It just will be not a weekly thing. It will be either bi-weekly, tri-weekly, once monthly, something like that. We're still going to have the effing title. However, though, with it being football season, as of right now, I've talked with one of the guys that I normally do it with, and he's down to do it again. So I got to talk to the other one. But we're going to be going back to our football podcast, where we just kind of talk about the show, this week's, matchups, who we think we're picking, talking about stuff, and doing all that stuff. So moving forward, might be seeing a lot of that. I don't know what it was, but all of that.
This is off season. This is the off season podcast.
Yeah. So
yeah,
but
you got 24 straight weeks of football, baby. Woo! Yeah.
Thank you all for stopping by and hanging out. Appreciate it as always. And depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, even night. Still trouble, stay safe, and we We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.